Hi, I'm Luis, and today we'll be creating a tutorial about fire. This will be automatic fire. This is not a basic tutorial, this is more like an intermediate tutorial. But I will try to explain every step I take, every click I do. So you may be able to follow if you're new to Moho Pro. Okay. Now I apologize upfront for my English, my pronunciation, and my vocabulary. And let's go. You will be watching the fire, I believe, around here. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is rename this layer, and we will be renaming this as well. I will be as flame 1. Okay. And this is because we're gonna be creating a little. Well, we'll be creating some more flame layers. Now to do this simple, we will go and select the shapes tool, the draw shape tool, and we'll select the circle one to create a circle, and with shift press down, you will be watching while I'm pressing somewhere here, and with shift press down we will be putting it in the center of the layer, which you may know is this cross we have here. Is the center is the origin of the layer. Now we're gonna hit T. Hit G. I'm sorry, I'm out of practice. We'll hit T to get our tools here from our transform tool. Transform vector tool, and we'll see the position, which is in X minus 0.0066 and in Y is this 1, and we will just put this 0 and 0 to place the shape we just created into the center of the layer. What we're gonna do now is go and select it with one of the fill tools. The first one is select shape, I believe. Yes, select shape, and we will select the tool. I'm sorry for this whole confusion I'm getting. I usually do this in Spanish, so please understand that. You will select the shape. It will be illuminated like this, and you will be and I will be getting rid of the stroke, so we just have the shape. You can go ahead and change the color or something. I won't. I don't. We don't really need any color here in this step, so yellow is fine. Now that we have that, I will be creating. We will be creating a new shape from that one. Will be named Flame 2. Okay, and Flame 2, I'm hiding the Flame 1, so it's not gonna get on the way. And in Flame 2, what we're gonna do is just hit C on the keyboard, and we're gonna click this tool to make it not have a curvature, to erase all curvature of the shape here. And we're just creating shapes that are gonna help us with our flames. Okay, now we will create a new flame from that second one here, and I'm gonna hide these two. And what we can do here is just click G on the keyboard to select points tool, and up here in the tools from the select tool we got split, so we're gonna hit that. We're gonna split that that rectangle here. Actually, I'm gonna select it all. I'm gonna hit T to transform, and I'm gonna go here between these two lines, which will be allow me to rotate this with shift press down. I'm gonna rotate it in 45 degrees. 45 degrees multiplies, I think. And with this, I'm just gonna select the middle one, shift to select the other middle ones, T to transform, and with Alt press down, I'm gonna move it down like this to create a star looking shape. And this is just so we have some different shapes. Okay, just for that. That doesn't need to be much more it doesn't have to be much more complicated than this. Actually, the star one has too many vectors already, too many vector points already. So we're gonna get back to the circle one, which is flame 1. We're gonna double click this one, and we will be using one of these tab tools named vectors. And well, this is just a well, let's call it automatic animation help. um, and basically we're gonna create some noise on the stroke, but this doesn't have a stroke, so it will be the noise will be on the shape. So we're gonna go in apply noisy fills and animated noise. Actually, yes, got noisy outlines and extra sketchy. Now, right now you see that's making something. The circle here is being animated, and it actually it can work. Okay. So the importance here is that we keep offset value down and scale value up. So you can play a lot with these values. The values I used were like something around 15 in the offset and 90 to 100 in the scale. Yeah. Now I put different values for every layer, so I have more range. But you can put 15 and 100 in every one. And the interval, well, the number of frames it will be animated, I put 2. So it will be animated in twos. Line count, this doesn't matter. You cannot put 0, so I will add it in 1. And that's pretty much what we need for this one. So you're gonna hit apply, you're gonna hit OK. Now you're not seeing anything. If you change to select another shape, you will be seeing on the circle. Well, you won't be able to see the animation probably, but you will be seeing how it is affecting the actual shape, which is cool. Now apparently we will be needing some more, so I put 150 and I will put 25 maybe, and go to another layer, and it works much better. So for the sake of this example, I will use the same values, so it will be 25 and 150. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna put enable all these, and 25, 150 and 2 for the frame interval. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Remember, just double clicking to enter the options here, and it is 25, 150, 150 and 2. Now apply and OK. Now I have all I need. Now actually, let's see how the start looks. I think, I don't know, let's see here. I'm just moving forward in the timeline to see how actual. Oh yeah, it doesn't look that bad. The start will need a lot more, so let's go to vector again, and let's put this 50 in here, and let's put 200 if lettuce. No, actually let's put 100 and 100. Yeah, now we have a lot more movement here. So apply OK, and we'll run it again. Yes, now we have more movement. Remember that fire is not actually very linear. It is unpredictable. So now that we have here, this will be the flames, because we'll be creating a particle system. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with particle systems or haven't worked with particle systems before, well, don't worry. This is not that actually difficult. So I'm gonna select all the layers. So I click here and I shift and click on the other one. So I select everything. I right click and hit group with selection. I'm sorry, that wasn't this step. I actually have to go here and create particle, and I'll rename it whatever way you want. Flames. It's gonna do it for me, and I'm gonna select all the flames and drag them onto the particle system. Now, if I click on the particle system, you will see this. This is these are the default values for values. For the particle system. It will be just throwing particles at the air, and the physics will be, well, the gravity will be pulling them down, the simulated gravity. So one important thing to know is that this particle system actually works with physics. So if you move the particle system around, it will be reacting to the gravity. Okay, so that's important just to know. So I'm gonna set this to have in the middle, and if you go and render, you will have some weird thing like this going on. Okay, now we're gonna enter the options on the flames. I'm gonna double click that, And here in particles you will see right now you have a particle count. We have a particle count of 100 particles, which means that every one of these layers is being multiplied 100 times when rendering. Okay, the preview of particles, the one we're seeing here, is actually 20. I'm sorry, not 100 per each layer, is 100 per the entire particle system. So everything that is below this will be repeated until we hit 100. Okay, mostly random. And the preview are the ones we see here. So we see 20. So we have around 7 of these and 6 of one or something like that. So what we're gonna do is bring this down. We don't need 100 particles. We need I used for the animation you saw on the beginning, I believe it was 35, so that's what we're gonna use, 35. In the preview particles we will leave it at 20. We will need more. Actually it isn't, it's not gonna work very well. 1 second or 24 frames. We have this project at 24 frames per second, so that's 1 second what the lifetime of the particles. And this, the width, the height, and the depth are the actual size of this circle here, which is like it's like you were throwing your particles through a tube, and there's the tube, the circle here. Okay, so what I'd like to do is actually give some depth to this. It doesn't have any depth, so I will put like 1 in value, and actually I will need some width, so I will put it 1, 2. Oh, 110 is okay. I'm gonna hit apply, and you will see that it narrows. Okay. Now I said this wasn't basic, so first just go okay for a while, and we'll go and select our orbit tool, and we're gonna orbit around, and you will see that it has depth. Okay. Well, that's the depth. It doesn't appear here, but it has depth. And that's what we're going to be using. Now if you hit play, you will see that now it's a lot different. Now go back to the options on the flames, go back to particles, and we have everything good until here. We will leave everything here. We will just go and randomize playback, so it will be as random as it can be. And on the directions here, the direction 90 is perfect, and the acceleration is actually the direction of our gravity. So we're gonna go and put 90 because fire will be ascending. Okay. Now spread is how apart our particles are. So we're gonna go and put like 4 or 5. I love value. And rate I will leave a 4, and we'll hit apply, and we'll hit OK, and we'll see how it works. Now it's a lot. It's very fast. So it will be rate will put like 1. It's just lower. Maybe we need 0. Yeah, actually we need 0 in this. We'll be needing also less. Why? Okay. Yeah, kind of works. Okay. I just noticed what was missing, and actually we will decrease the velocity. This is the speed. The particles will be floating up, so I will put it in 0.5 maybe, and it will. Yeah, that's much better, I think. Let's put it in 0.75. Okay. Now it's much better. Perfect. Now the particles are ascending the way they should. Now it's starting to look like fire, almost. Not quite, but almost. So it's pretty good. Now we're gonna go inside the. Outside the. Particle system flames, and we'll create a new vector layer which will be the shape for our flame. Now this is weird, I know, but it will be a masking masking system. Okay, so you can call whatever you want. I will call it mask, and with here we will create just a flame shape. Now what I'm doing is just dragging here around. I don't want the strokes, so I'm gonna do the same. Delete the strokes. This color is the one you will have to worry about actually. So I like to work this on the center, so I'll put it in the center in the x-axis, and let me actually see how they are sending up there. So for me, the shape will be until here. We don't need much more than that. And I know this is just a circular shape, but I with G I will select it and we'll hit a split, and now I'm gonna be shaping this like, well, trying to make it look like a flame. Okay. Now I will probably have to select this shape, these vector points, and hit here with, well, Z to curvature, and add a peak here, and of course in this one also a peak, to make it look like a flame. Now I will suggest you not to complicate very much on this. I went in complicated a lot, so you might see in my example at the beginning, but for me this works. Okay, now that's good. Now what we will do now is create the mask system. Oh, first we have to get this color. So we'll select the shape, we will select with the select shape tool, we'll select the shape, and in the tools to in the color tools, in the style tools sorry, you will go to effect, and you will open this drop down menu and we'll select gradient. Now of course you can do whatever you want in here, so your flames may be blue or whatever. Now I will try to replicate flames, so for me they're gonna be a little bit yellow red. So I'm gonna select this and hit delete to delete the color, and I'm gonna go select the black one and I'm gonna put red on top. And I think that's good. Maybe this is a little bit too dark. Ooh, no. I'll do it like that. And that is the gradient I needed. Now with the same tool I will be able to move down my the origin for the gradient, and I will take this up, maybe this will be, and like this. So I will have the gradient. This is the dark one is the origin, so if you move it, you will move every the whole line, the whole gradient direction. And if you move this one, you will move just the direction of the gradient. Okay. Okay, now we have the flames, we have the shape of the flames, and we have the actual particle system for the flames, which actually do you remember? Now what we need is create a mask, enable the mask. So we're gonna go select the flames particles and select the mask layer. I'm gonna hit double click, I'm gonna right click and go and click group with layer, and this one I'm gonna go flames. I'm gonna name it flames. I'll put V1. Oh, I'm sorry, no, V1. For me, this will be V2. And now we're gonna double click, go to masking tab in the layer settings, go to hide, go to apply, go to OK. Now it's already kind of working. It doesn't look very fine here in the viewport. It works. It looks terrible on the viewport. But if you go and hit Ctrl R, you will see that is actually covering it. Now we have to we will have to go here and I'm sorry, it's the language barrier. You will go to the flames particle system, you double click in the masking tab, you will hit add to mask, but keep invisible. So it won't appear in the render. So hit apply and hit OK, and that's it. Now we have the flames. Okay, now this shape we have here is horrible. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Now we can move down this flame system. Good. I move it with the transform layer tool, so I just click and drag with shift press down to put it into frame. You know what I forgot? I forgot to change our project settings. So we'll go there. Well, this is just my default. I work in 1440p, which is 2560 by 1440 in the resolution. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I will change it to 1920 and I hit escape. I'm sorry. 1920 and 1080. And the background color I will put in the black, so we'll see best our render. Now it looks, well, it's actually look good. Maybe it's because I'm doing it and I like what I'm doing it. Too narcissistic. I'm sorry. But we still need some things. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is select all these vector points here. I'm sorry, the tutorial is too long. We'll select all the vector points and we will go to split. This will create additional vector points between every two vector points we have selected, and this is just to create them. Right now, now what we're gonna do is let's select 72, let's say, okay, 72 frames. We will actually work with one of the scripts that come from a Moho Studio. Moho Pro, you don't need to install anything. So we're gonna go to warp and wavy, okay. Now this will create a wavy effect or wavy animation that will be put it into frames in our timeline for the shape we have selected in the layer we have selected. Now I have duration to 120. I will put 72. The frequency I will leave it in 4. Actually, this were settings I used before. I will leave it in 4 and amplitude in 2. The farther you have these both values, you will get a more aggressive fire. Okay, that's what I think. I haven't used this very much. Now we're gonna hit OK, so you see. Okay, now actually created a nice fire shape, and it created the 72 frames. And if you hit, now you see. Well, it's weird. It doesn't look very much like flames, but combined with our particle flames we have here, it works very much. It works a lot. Okay, I'm actually seeing that, and it doesn't look like it's creating everything. Let's just make a render. Oh yes, it does. Okay, now this, if you want to have this as let's say sorry, I'm forgetting this. If you want to have this as a Moho file that you will import to any of your project, you will want to have this as a cycle. So you will be selecting the last frames here and go to cycle 1. Perfect. So it will cycle all the frames except the frame 0 here, and that's okay. Now we will be good. Now there's a jump here, but it's nice. We won't be caring about this. So you have the flames now. Now one thing you can do to add additional I don't know how to say this additional movement or chaos, I will call it now, to your flames, is to add some frames within every flame you have. Now for that, I'll just create some, I don't know, the 96. I'll just create a frame of animation with but will be vector point transformation animation. So I'm gonna select this all, and maybe I'm just gonna scale them up with Alt, press down, rotate it a little bit, and move some points around. Maybe to make it a square, maybe to make it a circle. I don't know, just get a little creative here. And this is what happened, right? Now I put this these frames very apart. This is because I'm gonna select the frame 0, and I'm gonna put it on noisy. Now I will scale down a little bit the scale, and I'm gonna hit X. This means it will work like this up to here, right? So now I'm gonna just select this first frames here, and I'm gonna put it into, actually just move this one here. I'm gonna select the first frames and put it like in 132. I don't really care. And now in 72 I'm gonna do the same. Go to noisy. Ooh, this is a little bit better. And put a little here and close this. Now you have this movement which is very random on your layer. So right now, come on, what I'm gonna do is create a cycling here. So this will be simple. I'm gonna go here on 132, select these frames, and go to cycle 1. Now this will be repeating itself. Okay, the frames will be repeating. Now, for the sake of the tutorial not being that long, I will just select and copy these frames. I'm gonna go to every layer here, and I'm gonna paste it. Yes, perfect. Now we have these weird movements on our layers, and that will help to make our flames more, let's say, dynamic. Okay. Now let's head back to the mask. I actually forgot to add some curvature to this, so it won't look so bad. And that's it. That's good. Now we have some flames. Now one last thing I would like to add to this is the ability for the flames to have some more well, physics. Okay. Now this is almost complete, so you can put this everywhere and hit the render, and it will work just fine. Oh, also you can go to the main tab, the main layer here, and put on the shadows. We will be enabling shadow on and shading on. I'll put an offset 0 because I don't want this apart. I will use this expanded, so we'll put let's say 20, and in the shading also 20 in contraction, no offset as well. Maybe in the blur a little bit more, like 30, and in the blur inside, let's say 25. Let's say 20. Okay. And the colors, well, that's whatever you want. It will put a little yellow here, so it will so it will look like it's glowing, which is the effect I want to give it right now. Hit OK, hit apply, and hit OK. And when you render, you will have that the entire shape actually has some glowing effect. Okay, which actually looks very very nice. Now, good. I believe you can go to mask as well. This is just testing. I didn't do this. Enable the noisy animation to like 20 and 100 and 2. Apply OK. I will see if it works because I have no idea if it works. I didn't do it this way when I did the first. Oh yeah, it works. Oh, it works amazing. Yeah, that's better. So now we have this dynamic. Now the last thing, if you're still here, I'm sorry the tutorial has been so long. I don't know how long it's been. Probably over 20 minutes. Is to add some dynamics. So I will go and select. This is a group layer. Remember, I will go and right click here and hit convert to bone. So this is a bone layer now. And what I'm gonna do is create. Actually, 2 bones only. I only 2 bones. So I'll go to add bone tool from a little bit here below. I'm gonna select with shift press. I will click and drag above up, and we have our bone, and I will do the same. So we have 2 bones. Now I'm gonna select these bones, and just for the sake of this time, because I don't usually use the bone strength, but I'm gonna select the strength tool, and I'm gonna increase it. Yes, so I will be able to move the mask. So if I select, actually go to mask, and if I hit Z in the keyboard, now I'm gonna be moving the overall shape of the main flame, the flame shape. I don't know how you call the mask. Okay, and in between you will still have the animation, the wavy animation we added. Okay. So we added these bones, so we will create it. So we can create a dynamic to the bones. You can call it physics to the bones. Now we're gonna go to bone constraints. I will give you some angle actually. Let's say just to add something, minus 60 and 60 on the constraints, and we'll go to bone. Make sure we have both selected with B. You hit B on the keyboard and you select them. And I will add a lot of torque force, like 6, and in the spring force I will add a little, that's like 10. Okay, damping force 0.1. I'm sorry, damping force I will add in 1, and we will see how it works. I'll go to I'm gonna close this, and I will narrow our timeline to 120 frames, and I'll actually make some animation with this. Now I'm not able to animate the bones anymore because they are dynamic. They are binded to physics, but I am able to animate the layer. So hit M or select the transform layer tool, and I'm gonna just move this here every second. You will see this disappear. You don't worry that it disappears. Now I'm actually gonna just click to maintain it there. I'll just move it this there. Just click to maintain it there, and I'm gonna copy the first frame so it will be in the center. Ctrl C, Ctrl B, and we're gone. Yeah, now you see. Okay. Now if we stop like here, if we hit here, is stop like this, you'll see that the bones are moving with some physics. And if you render, you will notice that also the particle system is moving with physics. So now you have a almost perfect dynamic fire. You can also go into flames and add some blur, which will work much with the flames. Like, let's say, yeah, the blur works very nice. And oh, I didn't say this one. And well, that's pretty much it. Now you can actually add this this file to wherever other file you're working with, and you want to put if you want to modify this, just like you have you want to put, I don't know, a wall on fire on your scene, you can just go on to the particle system, to the particles tab, and increase the the width of the source, and it will just increase. Well, you'll see. you know how it will work. It will increase the width, and your frame will be a lot wider. So this is very much practical. So, well, I'm sorry if this was too long, and I hope it was understandable. Okay, I will be doing more tutorials, so you have my channel here. Please subscribe. There are like 200 another videos on my channel that you can check. They're on Spanish, but I'm pretty sure they are very understandable. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.